Hey y'all, welcome to Reflecting Divinity. I have a pick a card reading today that is looking to pull through messages about where you are on your path, and I really felt called to look at where you are in your life right now as if you were on a quest or like a magical adventure. So I have cards all about magic and different kinds of energies that will be helpful to you where you are right now. So far I have the final messages, which is going to be from the Enchanted Map Oracle. And I've pulled tarot cards to see more information about where you are and what your quest entails right now. So for pile 1, we have a beautiful citrine. For pile 2, we have another beautiful crystal of garden quartz. And then for pile 3, we have another very beautiful Lemurian quartz. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to see which reading is intuitively calling to you. And just remember that these are general readings, so you can take what resonates and release the rest. And I will see you at your selected reading. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. So before we get into the cards, I do want to just give you the messages that came through in meditation for you. So the general feeling I got is that you have unlocked something within yourself. I actually heard the phrase, "You are free as a bird." And I saw a heavy lock falling open, and I felt the anticipation of stepping out into a bright world. And so with this anticipation, it felt like a mixture of excitement as well as some trepidation and a questioning of what will I find. But I felt like you are ready to leave this situation behind, whatever this was, and trust that you will find help and support on your path, and that the people or energies that will help you on your path will be drawn to you, that this is just going to happen very naturally. I also saw daisies and maybe just other wild flowers that I can't really name, but it felt very hopeful and light, pile 1. And the message that was coming through is that you brighten up the world for others if you just allow yourself to step out of that confinement. So the message really seemed to be focusing on you releasing yourself from some type of limitation or confinement that felt really within, really internal. But let's go ahead and get into your cards to see what messages Spirit has for you on this beautiful path you're on this magical quest. So let's get into the tarot. Oh my goodness. Wow. So pile 1. Yeah, with the Judgment here, I am relating it to the message of you coming out of some type of confinement, from stepping from darkness into this bright world. I am seeing the people looking up to the sky as that feeling of like looking up into the sun after you've been, trapped inside for too long. And there's this sense of freedom and realization and a calling. And with the beautiful Four of Wands here, like this is a time for celebration. And so maybe you have been going through something where it was really tough and there was darkness in your life. Maybe you could be kind of still in that energy, but Spirit is saying the time is now to step out and bask in the sun and really experience life to the fullest. And with the world here, I mean, so many different energies come through with the world because it's such this beautiful representation of mastery, of completion, of up-leveling, of some type of cycle coming to an end, and it finally making sense. And you really can feel everything that was going on before in your life that kind of left you feeling in the dark. It's all clear now, and you no longer feel like it's controlling you, that you control it. And so I think this reminder from Spirit is that you are the master of your life. You are the knight on this quest, and you have so much to give and show the world. And this calling is just so important, and that you have gotten to this point needs to be celebrated. And this is just going to give you such a, I feel like I want to say the word profound, like such a profound level of security and just a new foundation as well with that Four of Wands. I'm just going to see if there's any other messages that I feel coming through. I think just in seeing the world and just seeing this as energies around you, that is like what I was feeling, that if you were just embodying your light and trusting that you have this ability or knowledge, skills, experience, understanding about you, that when you just really resonate with that and embody it, that all those energies will come in to support you. And this is a big message about trust and having faith that what you're being called to do is being supported. I do want to go ahead and see what kind of magical energies are around you right now and supporting you. Oh, sorry, pile one. I just had one fall out. So here's one. You have divine guidance. Whispers from the beings who shine. Let their message be clear and kind. Yeah, so the calling of the Judgment card, I'm relating it to that kind of as well as the energies of the world. Like, you are supported particularly by Spirit, but I also feel like with the World card, that's going to manifest even more in the physical reality with like the everyday, people that you encounter in your life. But yeah, so energy. A light inside my fire divine, energy fill me, make me shine. Yeah, so you have that just potent, natural potent energy, a pile 1, and it is time to shine. And here you have study. Let my mind be clear and strong. Let me study well and long. So maybe you are embarking on a new path of study, and it does make sense in that with the World card, since it's the last of the major arcana, you start back over with the Fool. So you dive into something new. So that could be a possibility for some of you, that you are quite literally diving into something new in that nature. It could also be that you have this realization, you feel this calling, and in a way you are new to it and really learning more about it, because you went through something that finally got you to that point where you realized, oh, I can use my energy in this way. I have this divine guidance coming in, and you have this calling, and now it's like, okay, well, what's next? So Spirit's saying it could take some practice. I mean, we're always up leveling, we are always progressing. You are never truly done learning, and that's my opinion, but it's also just in my experience. I may think that I've mastered all I can, but no. So yeah, you are just so connected, pile 1, and so your quest may be to find your particular spiritual calling and how you are wanting to show up in the world, how Spirit is calling you to give to the world with this innate, intuitive connection that you have, pile 1. So I've pulled for you a unicorn. So let's see. We have compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Forgiveness will set you free. See the light in yourself and others. Yeah. So I think whatever you've been going through with that sense of kind of being in confinement in the darkness, it feels like that was really a lesson for you to learn self-compassion and learn also to forgive yourself as well as others. And I do believe that's an ongoing lesson for most of us. But really the result is that you finally can see that you are that light, and you can show other people that they are that light as well. You are being called for this really important message that there is always a way to heal. I really feel that because you have been through this yourself, and you've really mastered and healed and come full circle, you have opened your heart and mind to new energies where you're hearing your guides and open to learning more and really embodying everything that you've learned with the experiences you've been through. I really feel like you are a way shower for other people to help them heal in a similar way. And so you had a dragon card fall out, and you have rebirth, giving yourself a second chance. So with that, again, I'm like going back to that energy of you kind of in a cage and having the lock fall off. Like, this was like you letting yourself out of that cage. Like, I think very much of like the Eight of Swords. You're letting yourself out of that energy and opening yourself up to more. You are forgiving yourself. You are having compassion for yourself. And then you are not just healing yourself, you are being called to hold that space for others. This is the new you, pile 1. So as you're on this quest, just trust that you will be divinely guided to where you need to go, but it really feels like you have a sense, you have that heart pull to serve. You can feel that higher calling. And it will look different for everybody, but you can really be that light in so many different areas. So just tap into your own intuition, as well as talking with your guides, seeing where your passions are. That's going to help you figure out what you are meant to do. But really, I think that we are all here to do a variety of things. I don't like to narrow down life purpose into what you do. I feel like life purpose is more than that. It's like who you are. And so just remember that we can be on so many different quests during our life that, one will lead to the next. So there's never, I just feel like I have to say, there's never like an ending or like, oh, I've completed this, it's final. Just know that the end of the world transitions back to the Fool. And it's okay. That's the beauty of it. There's always more. So I just pulled a card from the Crystallary and the Herbiary. So we have We Are One, Quaking Aspen, and we have Fall Apart, Smoky Quartz. That's really interesting. I feel like they're almost somewhat contradictory here, but it's really beautiful. So just in looking at Fall Apart, this is kind of making me connect it just imagery wise to the dragon here, but this feels like what you went through, where maybe things did fall apart, where everything felt disjointed and it took time to get yourself back together. And the importance of being grounded, particularly in difficult times where energies and emotions run high. That you can get back into your body, back into the earth, like this little chipmunk, I guess. But in this falling apart, you learned how to get back together, and then not only just put yourself back together, but there's this sense of, with a quaking aspen, we are one, that you now see that bigger perspective, that as we are all spirit, we are all connected and one energy. We are one universal energy. We're just having that experience at that individual level. But you have this deeper compassion and understanding, and that's where the forgiveness comes in. That's where that sense of rebirth comes in, because you realize that you really aren't alone in this, and that you can help other people realize they are not alone. So I just feel called with that fall apart to read from the book. So for Fall Apart, Smoky Quartz, I am the ground beneath your feet, smoky quartz whispers. I am the hollow in the earth and a cradle to rest in. I still the noise and ease the pain. I am the grandmother who sings you to sleep and sweetens your dreams. I am the foundation on which to place the first stones. I am the place you go when all other places are wrong and rough and your world feels unrecognizable. I am truth. I am earth. I am solid. I am stable. I am home. It's okay. You can let go now. Smoky quartz is a hug and a cup of tea, a place to fall apart so you can put yourself back together and be strong in the world. And so since you did that pile one, you can help others do that. And that is just such a beautiful calling. So let's go ahead and look at your final message. We have Ghostlands. So I will read from the book for this. Ghostlands. You can learn from the past and imagine a beautiful future, but you must live in the here and now. And I'll just go ahead and read both the upright and reversed meanings. Upright. Whenever you set your sights too far ahead, you run the risk of losing your footing, for rarely do the present and future match up exactly on the enchanted map that is your life story. The future has no substance right now. It is a place that has no grounding as of yet. You can't live there, yet you can take measured steps toward a goal or dream. These steps are important now. The same goes for nostalgia. You can look into the past wistfully and remember beautiful moments or revisit lessons learned. However, you can't live there, nor can you go back and change what was. Yesterday is gone forever. Live fully in the present. The now is the most powerful place to put your attention. Its magic reaches out in every direction, further than the heart and soul can see. Reversed. When the Ghostlands card appears reversed, it's a sign that you're wandering in an emotional or intellectual place with no real substance. There is no point longing for that which has already gone or hasn't happened yet. Perhaps you've created a fantasy of the good old days or some elusive utopian destination that lies somewhere in the future when this or that happens to make things better. Live one day at a time. Each day is a new beginning filled with truth and beauty. Stay away from the ghostlands of past and future. Avoid nostalgia and longing for something better. Find joy in what is present in your life today. So I really feel that that's what you have learned in that cycle of where you were in that confinement within, where you were limiting yourself in some way or feeling that you were limited in some way and were really restricted. I feel like what you learned is how to embrace the present and not get caught up in the past or worry about the future. And so you have just learned how to take that in stride, and that has been healing for you. It's allowed you to forgive and really be connected intuitively and spiritually, because we are most connected to spirit when we are in the present. And I just hope that this message was confirmation for you that while on your magical quest, that you are really just meant to be the light that you now realize you are, and that you are not necessarily in search of something or trying to understand the past. You really are just open and listening to yourself, listening to spirit, learning to just be. And that is where your true power is, when you just be you, pile one. So I hope this reading was helpful. If you liked it, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, then hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And I give you all my love, and I wish you all the best. Until next time, bye, pile one. Hello, pile two. If you chose the garden quartz, then this is your reading. And I want to go ahead and just give you the messages that came through for you in meditation before we get into the cards. So the first thing I saw was kind of the image of a cartoon witch. It sort of reminded me a bit of like Hocus Pocus. I saw a boiling cauldron. And the sense I got is that magic runs deep within your veins, and that maybe this is connected to ancestors, maybe it's ancestral magic, maybe it's tradition, but it could also not be so literal in that you are maybe a witch. It could be that you have been working on something and this creation has taken some time and patience, but I got the sense that you're at the final steps of this creation and that there is a birthing energy that's coming in and that you are getting ready to show other people. But the sense I got in particular with the witch imagery and that kind of cartoon imagery, we all know how witches are portrayed. I got a sense of a fear of persecution, and that in this kind of metaphor of the witch and how witches are portrayed, that other people will see you as the bad witch, the evil witch. But whatever this is, if you are having that feeling of like, how are people going to see me? How are people going to react? Spirit is saying that whatever this creation is, that is like you sharing your magic, and it's good. This is good. And that if you do see yourself as maybe bad for some reason, or just unworthy or undeserving, that Spirit wants you to know that you are as magically crafted as what you are making, what you are creating. So the magic you feel for your creation, that is the magic that Spirit says you are, that you are as divine and magical, that you are essential. You are also resurrecting a part of yourself that you may have let go of. So for some of you, you may feel like there's a part of you that has been lost, but the time is now to resurrect it and reintegrate. And there also just was this message of things aren't so black and white. So there is that kind of thinking that we can fall into where we see things as just black or white, but really the reality is we live in a bit more of a gray area, I think, a lot of times, and we forget that we can see maybe other angles and just, one or the other. So let's go ahead and get into your tarot cards to see where you are on this particular quest in your life and what Spirit wants to bring up to help you. So we're going to set this aside. This is from the Enchanted Map Oracle, and that will be our final message. And I felt for you that for whatever reason, I felt like you needed 4 cards instead of 3. So we'll just get into them. Okay. So we're starting out here with 2 wand energies. We have the Page of Wands, and then we have the 9 of Wands. And then we also have the Hermit and the Ace of Cups. So yeah, the first thing I'm kind of being drawn to is with the 9 of Wands is that energy of whatever you've been working on has taken a lot of your energy, a lot of your patience, and it's been a bit difficult. And if you feel like you have been really battling something, I feel like this could go either way, either internal with your own kind of struggle with whatever this is, or that there's other people that are already like giving you trouble, or you just feel like they may. And so there is this kind of, I gotta take a defensive position, but you have already been through a lot. I feel like this is kind of where the internal aspect of it comes in. But you are very near the end of this. With the Page of Wands, it feels like ultimately your passion for what you are working on has carried you through the struggle. And with the Hermit, this feels like, you know how you can really work on something and you just get caught up in the doing of it, and then you get to that point where it's actually real. It's coming to fruition. It is sitting there in front of you, or you are about to take it to that next level and it becomes real. And that's the energy I'm getting from the Hermit. Like, it's almost like this going back in and being like, oh shit, is this what I wanted? Is this okay? Am I safe? Is this in alignment? It's like that. Hopefully other people can relate to this, but I do have that where I sometimes will get that second guessing energy come in. But with the Ace of Cups, I just feel that's probably why Spirit didn't want to leave on that note. They're saying it's okay. Everything's okay. This is such a big, beautiful new opportunity. It is going to fill your cup. This feels so good. It feels refreshing. It feels like with this hot, fiery wand energy that you've been through. I mean, you've really been dedicated. You have done all you can. You've up-leveled. You've been open to learning. That this is where you get that drink. You really get to enjoy it, and really this will probably bring you some peace and a deeper understanding of yourself, pile 2. So Spirit is saying, don't give up, and also just remember to see yourself as this wise person who has things to offer, and to really try to get into alignment with that and not let the energy of others get to you, or even your own kind of that doubt that creeps in. Try not to dwell in it, because you have this beautiful vision and creation here that is really just opening up new doors as far as your enjoyment of life. Like, I want to just pull a few cards to see what kind of magical energies are here and helping you, how magical you are. Because again, that was in your message too, that you were very much in touch with magic. I'm also seeing the Hermit card is potentially ancestor energy. and tradition. And so maybe your creation could potentially be even related to that, I'm feeling. Okay. So we have safe travel. We have divine guidance. And we have harmony. Okay. So pile 1 also got divine guidance. We have whispers from the beings who shine. Let their message be clear and kind. With safe travel, we have keep me safe and let me roam, far away, but bring me home. And then we have harmony. As I create, I will share harmony divine with love and care. So with the divine guidance, I am, of course, kind of feeling that connection to the magic that runs within you, that creative spark that is divinely guided. And I feel like what Spirit's saying is you need to realize that you are, to be divinely guided, you are divine, and to believe that and know that Spirit is keeping you safe with the safe travel, that wherever you are called to, because you are so in tune, that you won't get lost, you won't be led astray. This is Spirit's promise that they are always with you and always here to help you and to guide you, and that what you've been doing has been so deeply upleveling and healing and very deep work, that this is leading to so much more harmony. And there's your cauldron, pile 2. So yeah, you are bringing things together. You are doing some healing here with whatever it is that you are creating and focusing on. The energies that you are pulling together, pile 2. And maybe you've experienced some backlash for this, but sometimes as we heal, other people get triggered. And as I was just saying that and shuffling, I had a card fall out from the unicorn deck, and we have anger. Safely express your anger. Use anger as a positive force. Honor all your emotions as sacred. That's really interesting to me, because I can't help but see the kind of fiery emotion of anger as connected to the wand energy. And that can be a very driving, powerful emotion that can move you. So when it's positive, it can move you into that energy of taking things on. And I'm also relating it, though, to that sense of maybe other people were out to get you or persecute you for who you are, and that powerful energy that's within you, that maybe they have not allowed you to be angry, and maybe you've needed to be angry, pile 2. Like, I feel like anger is very demonized, and really it's not anger that's the problem, and it's how we express it. And there's healthy ways and there's non-healthy ways, but it's not that just, across the board, anger is not okay. It actually is a very necessary emotion. So I feel like I have to say that, maybe for some of you in particular, they need to hear that. But it can be this positive force. And So don't deny yourself this. And that by being able to kind of embrace all of you, I kind of feel that with the Hermit, like there's some coming to terms with all of you and not seeing yourself as unworthy. Like I'm actually feeling like, well, I'm not worthy of being spiritual or having this connection to spirit or being this intuitive person because of this or that. And maybe it is related to anger, or you have anger about it and you feel like that you have been persecuted and you are angry and you're like, well, I can't be spiritual if I'm angry. And I feel like Spirit's saying, yes, you can. It doesn't make you bad. It doesn't make you evil to have these feelings. Okay, so we have culmination, completion, and renewal. So your dragon energy here, that is powerful. And look, oh my gosh, we have 27. Because look at the color comparison too. They're very similar. That's really interesting. So I was going to relate it to harmony because that completion and renewal really feels like things are coming together and flowing and making sense. And again, like you are pulling something into creation. You're in the final steps. Things are coming together and you're going to reveal it. And you're going to be safe in revealing it. There's going to be harmony. This is going to bring to you so much good. And so, wow, this card just really wanted to come out right off the bat. So I'm going to let it go. And so what I was saying is that you are, maybe what set you on this path was anger. And good for you. But know that even if that was what triggered this, it is still as valid as any other reason. So embrace it. Embrace that you come from that very, unique perspective. So I've just pulled from the Herbiary deck and the Crystallary deck. So we have a spoonful of sugar with marshmallow, and we have You Live in Abundance, Imperial Topaz. That's really funny that you got like very two food oriented cards, pile two. So maybe you do need to indulge a bit and really I feel like celebrate here. We have this like cake and we have just a full harvest here, and we are in that time of harvest. And when this comes together, when this is released, Spirit is saying, let yourself be in that energy because you deserve it. You deserve to have this sweetness that you have created for yourself. You have worked really hard. You've been very dedicated and open. You have up-leveled. You have done healing. You have had some major realizations about things with your emotions and how you navigate the world. And so your quest right now is actually, I feel like, to take a breather and to allow yourself that you deserve it and that you are worthy of it, and to really just, your next step then is to enjoy and really bask in that beautiful energy. So let's go ahead and see what your final message is from the Enchanted Map Oracle. Oh my gosh. We have wishing well. Okay, so I'm going to read from the book for you, pile 2. Okay, so wishing well. And I'm going to read both upright and reversed. Desire is a sacred impulse for life. Feel it, but let go of all attachment to ownership. Upright. Desire is a most important impulse for creating life. Now you're seeing the relationship between desire and inspiration, and sensing that moment of truth when you feel the inception of new life. It is an aha moment when everything makes sense. Perhaps you recognize a soulmate or are conceiving a baby or an idea. The wishing well card awakens you to the presence of unseen forces that enable new beginnings. Divine intelligence activates the field of possibilities where new life is co-created in a magical way. Neither you nor anyone else can know how or why this happens. It just does. To that end, you can't control the process of growth. Rather, you must step aside to be a channel for higher forces and relinquish any attachment to how this new creation should appear or when. Form your intention and take action by dropping the coin into the wishing well. Then trust in spirit. Prepare to be amazed. Reversed. This is not the time to force anything to happen in your life, especially whatever seems to be eluding you. You can't demand what the universe provide you with what you want. Unmet desires can burst into a destructive fire of obsession. Step back, breathe, and take your attention away from what you really want. Ask instead for what you need. Only the unseen knows how to align desire, inspiration, and its manifest form. As the coin disappears into the mystery of the dark pool at the bottom of the well, have faith. Don't engage in wishful thinking. You must co-create with spirit, not make demands. You may yet get what you want. Never forget that life is filled with choices. Make a wish, but be open to the enchanted way in which spirit fulfills your desire. So pile 2, I feel like you have been in this energy where you finally went ahead and you trusted and you let go to the extent where you could separate this outcome from yourself, or maybe that's what you're working on, but you are realizing that that's the next step so that this creation can be birthed into the world. Because I did get that energy of birthing, so you're bringing this creation in, and to just allow, not try to force the outcome, because what's coming in for you is abundance and harmony and renewal, absolutely, with the Ace of Cups and your Dragon card. So just trust it, that you're safe, you were carried through, and that everything you went through has gotten you to this point. And so you should be commended for your hard work, because I feel like there was hard work, there was some struggle, but I hope you see your power and your magic, pile 2. So I hope this reading was helpful for you. If you liked it, then please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more readings from me, then hit that subscribe button. I give you all my love. I wish you all the best. But until next time, bye, pile 2. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the Lemurian quartz, then this is your reading. And to start off, I just want to give you the messages that came through in meditation for you. So what I first saw was dark, deep purple flowers, maybe violets. I'm not really sure, but the petals were edged in black. And so I almost felt like I was being pulled into the flowers, and it morphed into the sense of like a dream or astral travel. And then it morphed into the sense of maybe space travel, like I was moving through the stars. And so I feel like the message coming through is that you are traveling in your dreams, or maybe you have this ability to astral project. I saw a UFO, so I almost wonder if that you may be connected to light beings from other dimensions that, you may consider alien. But the general message, though, was that you're an explorer of other realms, and you have this really powerful way of manifesting from the dream state, and to the point where your fantasies become reality. So I just kind of wonder, pile 3, do you have like a very vivid imagination, even as a kid? Do things kind of come to you? You think about something and it shows up in your life. I also feel like you have this ability to take on roles. It kind of felt like maybe, are you an actor? Do you role play? Do you just become like a chameleon in different situations? Because it's like you have that ability to morph your energy or personality to kind of fit and show up in certain ways in certain situations. And I think that's really interesting. But for your quest, I feel like Spirit was saying that right now, just remember that you need to remain true to yourself, ultimately, because you so easily pick up other people's energy and desires and goals, things like that. Maybe you're very empathic, or you consider yourself an empath, so you may not have as much of that boundary between you and others. So Spirit is just saying to be really aware of that, because that could seep in not just emotionally or energetically, but you could start to take on the thoughts and maybe perspectives of other people that aren't really true to you and how you actually feel. So I did feel like there's this sense of maybe you are looking to find a partner to work with you, to be at your side, and this feels very important to you. And so maybe some of you can relate to this or not. And I got the sense that this could be business partner, it could be romantic partner, it could be maybe both. But this is valid. So Spirit's saying this is absolutely valid, but just remember that you must be aligned within yourself first, so that if you are in that right alignment with yourself, with your higher self, or just how you really feel who you are, then that's where you will attract the most beneficial energies into your life. So if you want like the best partner you can have, then to be in alignment is that much more important. So that was the message that came through, and I want to leave the Enchanted Map Oracle card for the last final message. So we'll get into your tarot just to see what Spirit wants to bring up today. Okay, this is interesting. So I always say that, it's always interesting, but it is. We have the Six of Swords, we have the Knight of Pentacles, and we have the Chariot. And I can't help but first, right off the bat, this is so funny to me, but it's like, I feel like these are forms of travel. So I'm seeing the boat, I'm seeing the horse, and I'm seeing the chariot. And I can't help but see that in the message that came through for you, that you're traveling. So for some of you, maybe this is literal and that you are very much moving. Are you moving around? Or are you really, instead of like literal movement, you are progressing in a way in your own energy? Because with the Six of Swords, you could be leaving something behind that has been not so good for you. And so this is very much in alignment with a kind of quest. So you are maybe in search of something. So with the Knight of Pentacles, this really feels like you want to grow something, you want something solid, you want something that you can rely on. And so the Knight of Pentacles can really be that energy of that good, reliable, solid partner. Maybe that's what I was feeling, is that you are in search of this partner, whether it be in business or what have you. But I do feel like for you, there is, again, what Spirit was saying is to be in alignment with yourself, which is absolutely true. But I also feel like there is, of course, patience in navigating this and to trust that process. I feel like that can be the frustrating side of the Knight of Pentacles, is that it feels a little slow. But there is that reminder to just keep your eye on what it is you are going after, what it is you want, to just keep that in mind, but also just allow it in. With the Chariot, this feels like that final stage. Like, this is just really looking to me almost like a progression in time, where you were leaving things behind that were, rougher waters, and then you've slowly been working toward something, building something up. And now it feels like with the Chariot, you are ready to take off, and this feels like finally you can see where this is going to happen for you. I think it's a reminder to just stay in that kind of confident state if you can, to not get discouraged with the progress, because it's not going to look linear. I feel like I have to say that. It's not going to look linear all the time. And I just want to pull a unicorn card for you. I felt drawn to the unicorn first. I'd been pulling the magic cards, but we'll do that next, I guess. Oop, this one wanted to fly out. Okay, we have action. So now is the perfect time to act. Take inspired action toward your dreams. Move forward with confidence. I can't make it up. But yeah, I mean, with the Chariot, he has this confidence. Now, the funny thing is, when I've listened to other people talk about the Chariot, they talk about that movement. But the funny thing is that he doesn't look like he's moving at all. So there is still that final, like, okay, let's take off, let's go. So maybe that's why Spirit wanted to reiterate that maybe you have gotten to that point where the soil is seeded and it's ready to go. Like, or maybe it's like fertilized and now it's like, okay, it's time to plant, or you need to move on to a different, like pasture. I don't know why that's coming through, but yeah, it's like you got to go to a different plot of land and start again. So there's something like some type of taking action there, pile 3. And that Spirit is supporting you in that and saying that you can move forward in confidence because the timing is right. It's finally time. You've had patience. You have been dreaming this. You have been, in that energy. And so maybe in some aspect you're like, well, when is it actually going to show up in my reality? And so I just feel like Spirit is saying, just trust, just keep true to yourself, keep trusting, because it's happening. Oop. I don't want 2, I just want 1 more. Okay. So let's see what magical energies are around you. Ooh, we have inspiration, we have energy, and we have grace. So, with inspiration, Isis, goddess of magic, I ask thee to bring your inspiration to me. Then we have energy, a light inside my fire divine, energy fill me, make me shine. And then we have grace, grace, blessing, come to me to set me free. Yeah, so there is this sense of, with action here in your unicorn card, and energy and inspiration, this is very much motivation energy to me. And so maybe there is something where you can really be in the imagination of it, pile 3. You can really be in the feeling of it and in the imagining and the dreaming, the fantasizing. You can do all that. You can even act it. You can kind of embody it yourself and act it out, but are you feeling that it's truly you? And so I'm trying to kind of discern this, but it feels like Spirit is saying the time is now for you to take some physical, very much like in the 3D reality moves, to set this in motion, because you have done this work so far, but it's time to take it to that next level. And it's interesting because all these readings today have been sort of similar in their message of like taking it to that next level and coming to this point. There is going to be so much more freedom. You're not going to be stuck on the ground here. Sometimes the Knight of Pentacles and the Chariot can seem really heavy, right? Because there is that kind of very still imagery about them. But with grace, when you take off finally towards this, that will give you so much more in return. There's grace here, there's blessing, there's freedom, there's a lightening up in your energy. Because you really have been embodying this very fiery, inspired energy, and that's a lot to embody and then not have the kind of outlet to get it out there. So maybe it's time, like maybe it's finally gotten to that point where you can put it out into the world. Like, are some of you actually, like, I don't know why this is coming up, but are some of you ready to date? I don't know. Because these aren't really like romantic cards. But as I was shuffling the dragon, your dragon card, this is so funny, the one that's stuck in my hand is trust, love, and friendship. Yeah, so maybe these are social connections. This is about finding that social connection in some way, whether it is for business or whether it's romance or whether it's friendship. Like, there's something here about getting out there and to be confident in it and to know that you have all this beautiful kind of fiery, imaginative energy and that you can trust who you really are. You don't need to show up. Maybe that's what it is. You are perfect the way you are. Who you truly are is perfectly right. You don't need to try to be someone else or change how you show up. Be yourself, because that's where the true freedom comes in, and that's where you're going to attract the perfect person into your life or the perfect people into your life. I feel like that's finally coming together for me right now I'm like finally understanding maybe what Spirit was trying to say is that you definitely don't need to pretend or like hide yourself in any way. And in some ways, Pile 2 had a similar message, slightly different, but there is this theme of being true to who you are and not doubting it. So from the Herbiary deck, we have Light and the Darkness, St. John's Wort. Yeah, so there is that sense of like you hiding your own light, hiding who you are behind this kind of cage. It reminds me of a song like hiding your light in the bushel. I don't know. If anybody was raised in the Christian church, I was raised Methodist, and there's some type of song, I cannot remember it, but it's making me think of that, like hiding your light. And I think that's what Spirit's saying is like, you don't need to do that, not at all, because you are this amazing person, Pile 3, and you're gonna want someone who is as amazing as you, who will balance that out with you. So you need to be yourself. So we have Blue Topaz, be soft and listen. Be soft and listen. So with that, I am getting a message around showing up and not having to force anything. Not feeling like you have to force or will something to happen or really strive. I feel like you are at your best when you can just be and just embody energy. And so if you set yourself like in alignment with Spirit and you set that intention of being that divine embodiment of grace, everything will just flow. It will feel so much easier than trying to be something you aren't or trying to control it in some way. I am just going to pull it up in the book because I kind of want to read Blue Topaz for you, Pile 3. Sister to Imperial Topaz, Blue shares the message of abundance, but where Imperial reminds you to savor the world around you, Blue wants you to notice the gifts within you. We are, all of us, brimming with insight and intuitive knowing. We are far-seeing and empathic. That is, when we allow ourselves to be and don't bury our truths under self-doubt. Blue Topaz asks you to open to the richness of your intuition, the way your dreams offer glimmers of possible futures, and your stomach knows when a situation is not quite right. There is richness within, Blue Topaz reminds you. You don't need a teacher or a textbook. You simply need to be soft and listen. Oh my gosh, Pile 3. Yes. You are that empathic nature. You can see things and connect to energies that maybe other people don't easily connect to. You are moving through your dreams and like literally when you're sleeping, and also the dreams, the goals you have, those types of dreams. You are just so in touch with that really by not being you and allowing yourself to listen to yourself, you are doing yourself a disservice. So be your light. Don't hide it away. Don't keep it in the cage. Pile 1 had that message too. Like, don't keep yourself confined and allow yourself to be yourself. I don't know how any other way to say it, Pile 3. So I do want to just look at your final message from the Enchanted Map. So we have Wizard of Awareness, and I'm going to read from the book. Your soul knows best. Be still and observe. I'm going to read upright and reversed. Upright. Mindfulness is about being observant and remaining neutral about what goes on in the world around you. This applies to the environment within you too. If you struggle inside yourself, stepping into an observer position gives you a new, powerful perspective that neutralizes any discomfort or overexcitement. You have the capacity to see things clearly now, unencumbered by opinion or desire. Wearing the world as a loose garment requires you to adopt a sense that nothing that happens to you is personal. People come and go. Experiences evolve from one state to another in a continual shifting and change, no matter how much you want things to stay the same. The Wizard of Awareness asks you to give up your need to define or limit what you're experiencing now. It's all good. Let it be and watch the miracle unfold without any direct influence from you. Reversed. The Wizard of Awareness comes to you in this position to warn you that too much force behind a desire for a specific outcome robs you of a true and full experience. Step back, take your energy away from your situation, and focus on gratitude for the ever-changing conditions of life. Are you perhaps trying to control the outcome of something because you don't trust in your highest good? Meditate, be still, and your answer will come without any effort on your part. Be a neutral observer, and you'll see how this moment is but a small marker on the map of your life's journey. Well, pile 3, I don't know any other way to say it. If that didn't confirm it for you, that you just need to be yourself, to be in that beautiful position of you, and to just allow that to be out there and trust that that will attract all that you desire to you. I don't know what else to say. That's just such a beautiful reading, and I hope that this helped you and it confirmed some things for you, pile 3, that you are perfect just the way you are. So, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, then hit that subscribe button. I wish you all the best. I give you my love. But until next time, bye, pile 3.